After an over 2-hour weather delay in Gainesville, the Florida Gators and number 16 Mississippi State are set for the first of this 3-game series. Hey, they say good things come to those who wait. We're ready to get started underneath the palm trees in the Sunshine State. Plenty on the line as we turn the calendar to the month of April. The Gators right in the hunt for the regular season SEC title, but Mississippi State would love to spoil those aspirations and pick up a big road victory. Welcome upstairs at KDC Show Presley Stadium alongside two-time All-American Alicia Ocasio. I'm Ryan Urquhart. Alicia, this is a Florida offense that's averaging about 2 home runs a game. They're on pace to break the single-season team record. That'll be a big factor for Florida at the plate tonight.
It absolutely is. Florida has proven to be an offensive powerhouse with the ability to apply pressure really early in their lineup. The top 4 have collectively gotten 50 home runs out of the 77 that the Florida Gators have. So their lineup is going to be a challenge for anybody who steps on the mound.
And that Florida lineup will face reigning National Pitcher of the Week, Peja Gould for Mississippi State.
And Mississippi State's story starts in the circle with 3 reliable arms, but the senior Peja Gould has been exceptionally good with her ability to keep batters off balance. 100 innings pitched, 136 strikeouts, not a ton of walks, so good luck hitting her dirty off-speed curve. Rothrock in the circle for Florida. Keegan Rothrock has gotten better throughout the course of the season, with the exception of this past weekend at Arkansas, where she got a few losses in the circle, but the Florida Gators are going to lean on her heavily to continue to carry the torch as their ace.
And they will turn to the righty in the circle for game 1.
Rothrock's going to get the start. We've seen her for the past few years dominate with that rise ball. She's going to throw that at 2 levels. High velocity, mid to high 60s. Location is going to be critical for her to be able to spot that rise ball, and not only spot the rise ball, but that curve ball and that changeup as well.
And pitched this past 2 of the 3 games against Arkansas. Meanwhile, for Mississippi State, moved Kiara Sells into the leadoff spot. She's reached in 13 of her last 20.
And she is another one that's been extremely reliable in the box. Moved her up to that leadoff spot, as you mentioned. She's doing damage at the top and is going to continue to hopefully set the table for this Mississippi State team.
Both teams seeking a big Friday night win. Here we go. Rothrock's first is jumping in for ball 1. Chad Steers is behind home. Perry Owens is at first. Lyndon Baptiste is at third. Jasper, Texas native, is Kiara Sells. 12 home runs this year for Mississippi State, most in the lineup. And Swano is cut on for a strike. It's even 1-1. Gators searching for their 4th SEC series win this year, coming off their first series loss to Arkansas in heartbreaking fashion on a walk-off. 1-1. Sells clocks one into center. Thomas back, can't track it. Bounces all the way to the wall. And Sells will turn into second with her 11th double this year.
Kiara Sells extremely patient in the box, looking for her pitch to hit, knowing that Keegan's going to come across the plate, but does a good job of getting this ball that's on the outer half and taking it right up over the head of Townsend in center field for an extra base hit. Really good way to start off the ball game if I'm a Bulldog.
Brings in Morgan Stiles. First she sees. Opposite way into the screen. It's 0-1. Stiles in the mid-350s for Mississippi State. And Athens, Alabama originally had been in that leadoff spot until last week when they moved Sells into first in the order. Rothrock 0-1. Outside corner strike. It's 0-2. Keegan Rothrock, ace of this team, now in her 3rd season. One of the SEC strikeout leaders. He'll send an 0-2. And the dirt for ball 1. The Gators staff that doesn't have their full arsenal of pitchers without Ava Brown, who's been out for a period of time with an undisclosed lower body injury. Keegan Rothrock still the definitive ace of this squad, though. 1-2. Stiles carves one to short. Nice snag by Cahalan. Goes for the lead runner, and the throw pulls Grover off the bag. Just like that, it's 1st and 3rd for Mississippi State.
And I like the thought that Kenleigh Cahalan had on that play. It's a one-hopper by Styles up the middle, and Cahalan saw Sells moving in front of her, knowing that she had enough time to make that throw to third base. And I think she would have had her if she were to make an accurate throw, but knowing the sense of urgency to be able to get runners out right now is the thought.
At first is up and away to Nadia Barbary. One of the seniors on this staff on this team had 4 hits over their prior series against South Carolina. Rothrock's 1-0. Barbary pops it up. This is playable for Cahalan. There's one away. A double and a fielder's choice, still 1st and 3rd, but maybe a pressure releasing first down in his first. This is a Bulldog lineup that has had some struggles, to say the least, this year, and still had the home run ball very much in play. First to Ernstis. That's fouled off into the screen. And Coach Samantha Ricketts said as much about this offense. Top of the order, can't make mistakes tonight, but overall not as good as they want them to be. Have very high standards for this group. Said maybe some of that is overthinking. Just want them to be smart hitters, communicate and learn from each other. On 0-1. Ernstis, 1-1.
They've done a good job so far today at being aggressive when seeing a pitch that they like in the strike zone. But that's going to be the key for this team. Knowing Rothrock has been dominant in the circle.
1-1's up and away.
But the story is Mississippi State and the 3-headed monster on the mound. How can we get our offense going to be able to produce some runs right now?
2-1. Ernstis takes inside, 3 balls in his strike. And that's the thing with Mississippi State. You get a few runs in, a good night out of Gould or this staff, it might be enough to win you a ball game, especially on a Friday night. 3-1. It's 3-2. Presents a really big early opportunity. If you're Ernstis, the outfield may be enough here.
Ernstis still riding that high of homering in Game 3 to win the series this past weekend.
Payoff pitch. That's ball 4. Bases are loaded up full of Bulldogs in the first.
We talked about this a little bit off air, Ryan, about the lightning delay that both of these teams just experienced. Rothrock had already thrown in her pregame bullpen before coming out here a few hours ago and then having to re-warm up. I feel like sometimes it takes a toll on your body, not only as a pitcher, to warm up and then have to sit down for a few hours. You get cold, and sometimes that can be mentally straining.
Absolutely. Coach Walton going out there for the conversation. 5-time SEC Coach of the Year, NFCA Hall of Famer, dispensing some wisdom. Sometimes Florida will send Stephanie Van Brakel Prothro out there just to talk to battery, but Coach Walton wanted to talk to the entire infield in that moment.
Hey, here we go, 7. Leave it right there, kid. Here we go.
Sometimes you just got to go out there and calm the team down. I feel like the intensity is even high up here in the booth, having waited out that lightning delay.
Got to kill some time, hang out, but it's time to go. And for Mississippi State, a prime opportunity in the first for Morgan Bernardini. First pitch, she's swinging, and this is out of play. It's 0-1. Bernardini, 281 a hitter to face Rothrock. Had 3 hits in the prior series, 3rd on the team in doubles and RBI. Not a bad player to have up in this spot. Rothrock's 0-1. Wanders wide, 1-1. Early high pressure moment for Keegan Rothrock, Florida's everyday ace. 1-1. Up the third baseline to home for one, back to first, well in time for a double play. Rothrock and the Gators escape a bases-loaded jam, a bit unorthodox. It goes 5-2, 3 for 2. And we will see Florida at the plate for the first time today on the other side. Starting lineup, game one of the series between Florida and Mississippi State. Jocelyn Erickson is having a phenomenal senior year. Nearly half of her hits have gone for extra bases.
Yeah, leading the team in home runs with 16. Her power numbers for sure don't go unnoticed. Steady bat in this lineup since she's transferred from OU.
In the circle, Mississippi State to the senior righty, Peja Gould.
Peja Gould, we know her for the movement that she has on that off-speed curve, and talked about her having 100 innings and a ton of strikeouts, not a lot of walks, but she's so good because she can throw 3 speeds, that off-speed curve to both sides, but that drop ball, she just learned that this year, and it tunnels extremely well with that changeup. Makes her very deceptive when you step in the box.
First to Taylor Shoemaker's a strike, 0-1 on the Florida sophomore. Outstanding average back in this leadoff spot for Florida. They had tinkered with Townsend Thomas hitting first, but have gone back to this look. 0-1. Called strike 2. Gould working ahead early. Softball America's number 6 pitcher in the country facing the number 2 outfielder in Taylor Shoemaker. 0-2. Well outside, ball and 2 strikes. Boy, what a week Peja Gould had, earning National Pitcher of the Week honors, SEC Pitcher of the Week. Tossed her first career no-hitter against UT Martin, was the 28th in Bulldog history. 1-2. Shoemaker hops one out to second. Well playable for Romero. Throw to first is just in time.
That was a close one, but Peja Gould, rightfully so, is Pitcher of the Week. I mean, her stuff is so dirty, the way that she's able to take some speed off of that off-speed curve to be able to get the ball to dance the way that she wants it to on both sides of the plate, but also just go down in the zone. And then offset it with that off-speed pitch. It's tough to be able to get your barrel behind it whenever she's doing what she's doing with the speed and then the tunneling.
This is Jocelyn Erickson facing a 1-0. Well outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Peja Gould, her evolution has been great under this coaching staff, as is Jocelyn Erickson's. Recently crossed 200 career RBI, only the 6th ever Florida Gator to do it. 2-0. Takes a strike, it's 2-1. She is in some rare air. Her numbers have been really good this year, right up there with Charlotte Eccles, Megan Bush, Francesca Nea, Reagan Walsh, Lauren Hager, 260. Really lofty number to try and chase. S2-1 is bounced deep to second into the outfield. Romero's got it. Back-to-back ground outs to the 4th spot.
It's a really good read by Romero at second base to be able to see the ball off the bat, read the hop, and take a drop step to get that out.
Will give way to Kenleigh Cahalan. Peja Gould 2 up, 2 down in the first after Mississippi State loaded the bases in the away half. First pitch, Cahalan swinging and unassisted for the final out of the inning. Gould is in a groove to start despite the 2-hour weather delay. We're 1 inning down here in Gainesville. Still no score. Gators and Bulldogs in game 1. Two hours and 8 minutes for the start of this top 25 series. Mississippi State and Florida Bulldogs looking for their first series win since 2019 against the Gators this weekend. No scores. We slide to the second. Keegan Rothrock working into and out of trouble in that first inning. Gators a great double play.
Yeah, it was Sells starting off the inning with that double over Townsend's head in center field, getting off to a good start, and a little bit of an off throw by Cahalan, but a really good job by the Gators defense to be able to get out of a jam like that, especially early on in this game.
Carter leads off and dribbles the first up at third. Grover to Walker for the first out of the inning on one pitch. That's a great job by Keegan Rothrock handling pressure in that first inning, something that as a junior ace you're pretty accustomed to at this point.
Yeah, and we talked to Coach Walton early this week, and Keegan Rothrock is a pitcher that wants the ball. We talked about her workload and how often that, you know, she's pitching and compared to the years prior, and she wants the ball. We talked about the absence as well of Ava Brown, who was the Saturday starter, has been for the past few years, and Keegan still stayed steady throughout the course of this year despite that, and she wants to throw. She wants to be the workhorse in the circle. And I think throughout the course of this year, I've seen it too.
0-1's out of the zone. It's 1-1 now. And Keegan Rothrock leading the SEC in innings pitched. 1-1. Keller takes inside here, 2-1, but I think it's sometimes easy to lose it in these days in the context of more staff pitching, but these are workloads that many pitchers, I'm sure yourself included, have worked through that before being the Friday and Sunday starter. She did that her freshman year too, 2-1. Keller up the line at first. Walker's got it, 2 down.
We've talked about that shift, not only from it being a pitcher's game to a hitter's game, but from pitching staffs going from that one workhorse to going to multiple pitchers, being able to handle the brunt of the season. Growing up, I was watching Hannah Rogers and Stacey Nelson and other people like Lisa Fernandez, who threw a ton of pitches for their respective teams, but now it's the love is spread, and we see it with Mississippi State right now with their three-headed monster in the circle and other teams across the country.
Des Rivera takes a strike on the first next to the senior. Rothrock misses at 60. It's 1-1. Des Rivera, two-time transfer, started her career at Oregon State, where she saw Florida in the 2022 Women's College World Series. Did have a hit in that game. 1-1. Rivera slams this off the instep. It's 1-2.
Good thing she's wearing protective gear on that left ankle.
That's got to be just top 5 most painful things as a softball player when you don't have that gear there.
I would consider it top 3, right? Ankle swollen for the rest of the year after you hit it.
1-2. Rivera fouls it off. Yeah, you would definitely know better, I'm sure. There's Rivera. Big piece of what we do, in Samantha Ricketts' words. Also spent 2 years at Iowa. Ricketts watching on for a 1-2. Slow ground into the circle. Rothrock very efficient in the top of the second. 6, 7, 8 down 1, 2, 3. We will see you in just a moment. Middle of 2. We are scoreless. '70th renewal of this one between Mississippi State and Florida. The Gators won the series in 2024. Raleigh took game 3 by a single one. They've won 8 of the last 10. If Mississippi State wins on the road tonight, Alicia, it's huge for them in a lot of ways, but also for maybe stacking up that NCAA tournament case. Meanwhile, Gators in the hunt for a regular season title.
Absolutely, and Mississippi State only having won 1 SEC matchup this year, this past weekend, trying to get that momentum going for the rest of the season. They, right now, are looking pretty hot right now, firing on all cylinders. Came out with the win the last game to clinch the series.
First 2, Kendall Grover's outside the zone. It's 1-1. And Mississippi State may be a deceptive 4-5 in the SEC. They're very close in all of their series so far. 1-0. Grover takes a delayed strike, 1-1. You look back at what the Bulldogs have done, rallied to win that South Carolina series. Barely lost the Georgia series, barely lost the Tennessee series. 1-1. Grover's ahead, 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, the Bulldogs lost every single game 1 of their SEC matchups this year, have won every single game 2, but it was a struggle to be able to clinch that game 3, and they did so this past weekend.
2-1 just outside the zone as well, 3-1.
Had a conversation after game 1 this past weekend against South Carolina to try to take the last 2. Just Coach Ricketts instilling some confidence in her team. Their word this year is together. Win together, lose together.
Gould delivers there. It's full 3-2 on the leadoff to Kendall Grover. Payoff pitch. Grover fouls this off. And said after that first loss to South Carolina in this series, felt like Alyssa Faircloth-Falk gave them a chance, just really had that sour taste in their mouth, feeling like they wasted an outing, not having enough offense for in that first game. Another payoff. Grover waves on it for strike 3. And Gould's got her first of the night.
Gould's superpower is making the ball dance through the zone. She just cups that curveball and spins around it with such a high spin rate to make it disappear, and really tough to hit.
First two, Townsend Thomas misses at 64. As a Florida hitter, how do you deal with that?
I think honestly, you got to pick a side of the plate because she's throwing on both sides. But the thing is, as well, is you also have to pick a speed.
Flare shot to short, 2 down.
Gould is throwing that curveball a lot. She's also throwing that drop ball to offset it. So I think you got to be able to just pick a speed, pick a side of the plate, and then fully commit to it. If you're gonna hit that outside curveball, then you got to be able to extend that barrel and try to get behind where the ball's going to be instead of trying to hit where it's at whenever you start your swing.
Ella Wesolowski's up. Way outside on the first. Former Mississippi State Bulldog, as Ella Wesolowski played in over 90 games there in her career, started over 70 of them. Last year had 3 home runs for the Bulldogs, 15 RBI. 1-0. Finds the inner fringes, 1-1. So seeing her old team today. Has really settled in with this Gator program. Hit .309 this season. 5 home runs. 1-1. 1-2. It was about this time of the year last year she won SEC Player of the Week in her time as a Bulldog. Trying to make something happen with 2 gone. 1-2 is grounded to short. Stiles is in, and she makes the play to retire the side. Boy, what a start for Gould in this game. She has retired the first 6 she has seen. She's got her first K, and we're through 2 in KSP, no score. Latest RPIs, we go to April Mayhem. It's just around the corner. Florida is on the right side of the bubble as it stands for potentially hosting a super. RPI is typically one of the big metrics the committee uses. Meanwhile, Mississippi State, similar situation, but with hosting a regional. Beating Florida in a series will go a long way to cementing that. It
will absolutely. Seen a lot of movement in the standings. I think what sticks out to me the most is this past weekend, watching Tennessee, who was number 1 at one point, get upset by Ole Miss, who wasn't ranked at all. We've seen a lot of upsets this past weekend. I think this conference is just extremely tough and has only gotten tougher throughout the course of the past few years. I think it's a dogfight, pun intended. In any team that you play, any team that you step on the field with is going to be a dogfight because of how strong that these teams have. And not only are these teams strong, but I think we can attest that to just like how advanced technology is and how much these athletes are working out now in their youth. Seen a lot of athletes just take advantage of the weight room and getting accustomed to strength training a lot earlier than players like me and my age were doing back in high school. So I think it sets them up for success as they get older in their strength training and just assimilation to the college athletics.
That one's outside the zone. It's 3-1 to the leadoff hitter, Zion Romero, facing Keegan Rothrock. Only saw the minimum in the second inning. 3-1 to Romero. Whale and miss. It's 3-2. Coach Walnick touched on that, of how this game has evolved a lot from a technology standpoint and how you can scout pitchers, how that's helped the offense. This program's very much adapted. Their home run numbers have exploded over the last 4 seasons.
They have, and don't screenshot because you can see all their stats in the dugout. But
3-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Keegan Rothrock's got her first. Comes against the 9th spot.
it seems Rothrock has found her footing. She looks to be a little bit more comfortable on the mound right now. A nice pitch, a nice rise ball by Rothrock. Get the swing and miss.
That's big for Rothrock after loading the bases to start. Rebound in a big way. Sells on the first pitch, up in the air, foul territory, up against the screen. Erickson gave it a lunge but couldn't grab it.
I think next time she's got to be able to scale the net and climb it to be able to, make that grab.
Spider-Man vibes.
Got a Spider-Man.
That's your recommendation.
Yeah.
Not sure that's legal.
Probably not.
Only one way to find out. Here's an 0-1. Sells goes opposite way, 0-2. Kiara Sells opened this game with a double. Mississippi State, a fielder's choice, a walk, loaded up the bases, could not capitalize. Gators turned a 5-2-3 double play. Sells moving into that leadoff spot, the senior out of Texas. Started as a walk-on, now on scholarship for this team. Faces an 0-2. Up and in, ball 1.
And her story is interesting because of that fact. Doesn't have a lot of at-bats in her first 2 years. Earned that earned that scholarship after her sophomore year without even getting any starts.
1-2. That's pulled up the third base line.
And you see it pay off. Going from being a walk-on to now a starter. And not only a starter, but the leadoff batter. Been a huge mindset shift for her, but she stepped into the box with confidence. Her motto is just have fun and do your job, and that's exactly how she takes the box every single time she steps in it.
1-2. Sells, punches one. Cahalan, a nice snag. It's short, and there's 2 away. Kenleigh Cahalan's defense has been really stellar in her senior season.
And that was a P over her left shoulder, and she just, such an athletic player, able to open up her body and make that grab. Full body stretch. I would have been hurting after that one for sure.
Morgan Stiles to the plate with 2 gone. Takes on the inner edge for strike 1. Stiles, a silent leader of this team. Coach has talked about, despite not being the loudest voice, communicates very, very well. Calm, steady presence for them. 0-1. Stiles flutters one to second, just over Gabby Comia's glove. And a 2-out base hit for Morgan Stiles.
A little bit of a jam job by Stiles over Comia's head. That's all you need, though. All you gotta do is be good enough, and in that moment, Stiles was good enough to be able to poke that ball and get a runner on base for the Bulldogs.
Give a chance for Nadia Barber, who's been a hot bat for Mississippi State, 7 of her last 15. First pitch. On the initial offering. No Spider-Man motion there. It's off the third base side screen.
Man, disappointed. Those are tough plays. I mean, my time at Florida, as many times as we practice getting to the net and then pushing it back to be able to take full advantage of the space that we have and stretch our arm out to make that play.
Stiles popped up her last time, 0-1. Just off the edge, 1-1. 2-time All-Region selection is Nadia Barbary. Home run numbers have been way up for her. 1-1. And that's fouled off, 1 and 2. Barbary, they love her experience. It's a big factor, a 4-year starter. The coaching staff, led by Samantha Ricketts, said that she's got a confidence, a swagger in the box, and a lot of trust from this team. She'll see a 1-2. In on the hands, 2 and 2.
You talked about her home run numbers, Ryan. Only a few her first 2 years. Last year had 11, this year has 8, but a lot of pop has been developed by Barbary.
2-2. Pulled that foul.
Talked to Coach Ricketts, said it just happened naturally. She's one of 3 players that has spent all 4 years at Mississippi State, just fully committed to the program and gotten stronger, and really talked about their strength and conditioning, strength numbers, how often they're lifting. And
another 2-2. Barbary down on strikes. And that will retire the side. Keegan Rothrock does give up a 2-out single, but collects 2 strikeouts. And it's still scoreless in the middle of 3. Florida looking for their first hit when we come back in the home half. To the SEC, a lot of teams poised to be on that super regional discussion. 6 of the top 10 from the Southeastern Conference. Most of any league. Kendall Wells has been one of the best swingers in the SEC. How about her breaking that home run record?
how about her being a freshman and coming in and having such a lethal bat like she's having right now? I mean, a lot of people can't do that, and I think she's just a different animal.
And of course, Peja Gould, National Pitcher of the Week. She'll be in the circle in this bottom of the third inning for Florida. It's the bottom of the Gator order with Cassie McClellan leading off. And the first pitch snaps into the outer half of the zone. It's 0-1. Cassie McClellan out of Lakewood Ranch, about 2.5 hours south of here. Will face an 0-1. Taps this off foul, quickly 0-2. Peja Gould, one of 3 major arms for Mississippi State. Gators trying to break through with their first base knock in this bottom of the third. She's only faced 6 so far, 1 strikeout. 4 groundouts, 1 pop-up otherwise. On an 0-2. Low and outside from Gould. Spent 3 years at Tennessee Chattanooga. 95 career appearances before she put on a Bulldog uniform. 1-2. 2-2. Pitched in the 2024 NCAA tournament against Florida State and Auburn. Very analytical, in Samantha Ricketts' words, as to what she brings to this staff. Trying to bring another out here on a 2-2. McClellan goes down swinging. Peja Gould, 2 strikeouts to the first 7.
talk about how she's able to just cup that curveball and make it dance. Yet again, does that. This one coming a little bit higher in the zone.
Here's Walker. First pitch is low. Madison Walker back in the 8th spot, has been in the upper half of the order. Saw this 8th spot opening weekend of the regular season. Gators trying to tinker with this order, find the exact right combination for maximum offense. 1-0's outside. And they're going to need maximum offense because Peja Gould has come out scorching hot to start this 3-game series. SEC shutout leader on 2-0. Walker hops one, foul up the third base line.
That was the storyline coming into this weekend, Ryan, with the staff that Mississippi State has, second in the country, second in the SEC in ERA. And Florida, their offense just being explosive, their power numbers, hitting 77 this year, second in batting average in the SEC. How is this Bulldog staff going to hold down this explosive offense in Florida and vice versa? I think this matchup.
On 2-1 up and in. Now hitters count here. Madison Walker was one of the top home run producers in the SEC last season with Missouri. First year as a Florida Gator. 3-1. Walker cuts on it for strike 2. Grew up in Kansas, former Kansas Gatorade Player of the Year. Big Chiefs fan, in her words. Will face a payoff. Walker will walk. Florida has their first base runner. Gators trying to get their first hit. We'll talk to Florida head coach Tim Walton coming up in the top of the 4th. Get his thoughts on how this one's unfolded so far. Gators' big opportunity, though, here to get some offense moving. It'll be Gabby Comia in the 9 spot. A .398 hitter. Shows bunt on the first. The slapper takes ball 1. St. John, Indiana native. Her bat has started to perk up a bit as of late. Went 2 for 4 in the final game of the Arkansas series. Nice 1-0's in the zone.
I think for Comia, her bat has been heating up a little bit as of lately, but her numbers have significantly dropped in SEC play, which you do see at times because of how much stronger these pitchers are, how good the hitters are, how good the teams are all around. But Gabby Comia has been reliable this early on this year and last year, but just having to make better decisions in the box, swing at better pitches, and get her barrel behind the ball a little bit better, be able to be more productive.
1-2, out to short for the lead runner, and that's all Mississippi State gets. So fielder's choice to get Walker, and there's 2 down for Taylor Shoemaker. Second time through this Florida order. Gators have now all seen Peja Gould once. They'll try to adjust to it, and having one of the nation's hit leaders up to the plate certainly helps Florida. 4th in the country with 60 hits this year on the first. Shoemaker opposite way, that's a foul. Coach Walton said one of the best hitters this game has ever seen, facing a really good arm for Mississippi State. Loves her ability to hit it to right field, left field, to have that kind of pull to oppo power is unbelievable, especially with the high average. The swing has taken even another jump. 0-1. Quickly 0-2 on Shoemaker.
Shoemaker is one of the players in this Florida lineup that I'd circle just because of her ability to reach balls over different parts of the plate.
Comebacker to Gould, and she slings it to first well in time to retire the side. Gators get a runner aboard, but still no hits for the orange and blue. We will talk to Coach Walton on the other side. Florida and Mississippi State in game 1, no score. Well, the Goose Eggs as we go to the top of the fourth inning at KDC Show Presley Stadium. Now joined by the head man of the Florida Gators, Tim Walton. Coach, offensively, how do you deal with this spin that Peja Gould is bringing?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of different speeds, so you got to do a really good job of being able to control your barrel, do a good job on your separation. If you're off balance, let it travel, but good spin. I mean, there's a reason why she's, pitcher of the week in this league. She's doing a good job locating pitches and, pitching to her strengths.
Coach, Mississippi State had some momentum in the first inning with bases loaded. You called a timeout. What was that conversation like in the circle?
Yeah, we talked about really what the hitter does. What do we need to do to get ourselves in the best position to turn a double play. Corners going to the plate, middle infield was going to do both. They could either go to the plate or roll it up the middle. So we just talked about all the scenarios, the hitters, the sequences, and what we need to do. And obviously we executed, but just trying to try to go, number one, calm the pitcher down, get her right. And then the second part is just get the defensive pieces ready to go.
Coach, thank you for the time. Good luck.
Okay, thanks, guys. Go Gators.
NFCA Hall of Famer Tim Walton, his wise words, what he said to Keegan Rothrock, who is going to have to step up because we got a pitcher stool going on.
We do. Like you said, a lot of goose eggs. This, for me, was expected with Keegan Rothrock and what she's able to do, but also on the other side of the ball.
Feels like a kind of night where 1 or 2 runs might be enough. Here's Ernstest to lead off. No problemo for Rothrock on the first. It's 0-1. Paige Ernstest, according to Samantha Ricketts, is exactly what they expected. Thought she'd be a four-hole hitter. Had a great fall with her. 0-1. You bet it's strike 2. And has shown it as of late. Had her first home run of the season in her last game against South Carolina. Helped secure the series. A sophomore catcher awaits an 0-2. Fist it up. Erickson in stride has got it.
Nice catch. Erickson had to run a little bit of a ways to make that catch, but a good job by Rothrock as well to get in on Ernst's wheelhouse and to get that first out. Mississippi State's been putting barrel behind ball a little bit more than Gators have against them. A few bloop hits here and there.
So 1 on Bernardini. Last time we saw her grounded into a 5-2-3 double play. A huge moment in this game. 0-1. That's up and back, 0-2. Mississippi State against South Carolina had some offensive struggles, especially with runners in scoring position. They were 3 for 16. Samantha Ricketts, will talk to her about what this offense can do to get moving in the next half inning, as well as what's been going right in the circle. So far, it's been a lot. 0-2 from Rothrock. Low and in, ball 1. One, 2. Bernardini slices it to left center field, finds real estate. And Mississippi State has their 3rd hit of the game.
And I said this earlier, Ryan, all they got to do is be able to get that barrel behind the ball and get a bloop hit. And I feel like that's what they've been doing throughout this game, with the exception of Sells getting that double in the first inning. I feel like they're having pretty good discipline throughout the course of this game so far.
First to Carter. And strike 1, Rothrock's ahead. Former MVC Defensive Player of the Year, 2-time All-Conference selection at Southern Illinois. 0-1. And Carter face 1-1. It's been splitting time at the designated player spot for Mississippi State. They lean on her for the experience. Makes sense she would get the start in game 1 tonight on the road in a hostile environment. 1-1 to Carter. Takes this opposite way through the 5-6 hole. Mississippi State's in business in the 4th. Runners at 1st and 2nd.
piece of hitting by Carter out in first base. As Erickson calls time to speak with her pitcher, Rothrock.
A pinch runner will come into the game. This is Tatum Silva.
Two back-to-back hits on Rothrock right now. As I mentioned before, Mississippi State seeing the ball fairly well. Haven't had a ton of hard hits, but have put runners aboard. Now it's about being able to execute with runners in scoring position. A part of their game that could improve.
And that's the thing, Alicia, is when you look back at that series with South Carolina, we're just a little bit better in those ensuing games. Not perfect with runners in scoring position, but enough to come out with a victory because their pitching is really, really good. There's Kinley Keller. First pitch is low, ball one.
And pitching is going to keep you in ball games, especially when you have three who can split the innings and come in at any moment and be competitive to give their team a chance.
Grassel's also pinch running at first. 1-0. 1-1. Understandable to want maximum speed here. Bottom of the order. Kinley Keller, 3 unassisted in her first trip. It's 1-1. He's popped up to first. Walker in, snags it, 2 down. Good response by Keegan Rothrock.
And that's how you come back and chip away. After 2 straight hits, Keegan, a postseason player, these moments are inevitable. But wanting to continue to shape that mental toughness throughout the course of the season to handle these big moments.
This is another big opportunity. Mississippi State had the bases loaded in the first. First is out of the zone. Here's a 1-0. Rivera, opposite way to right. Shoemaker against the line has got it. And that will retire the side. Mississippi State is 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. And Keegan Rothrock once again wiggles out of trouble. No score, middle of 4. On to the bottom of the 4th. We're in a pitcher's duel. Mississippi State and Florida, now joined by Mississippi State head coach Samantha Ricketts. Coach, offense has had multiple opportunities. How do you get the runs in when you have runners in scoring position?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's exactly that, finding a way to get a timely hit when we've got runners out there. And I think doing a good job knowing that she's going to continue to mix like she is and just hoping we can come up and get one to land with some runners in scoring position.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by Gould's performance in the circle right now, but what have you seen or want to continue to see from her to find more success throughout the course of this game?
Yeah, I mean, just going up against a strong offensive lineup like Florida, we know that it's going to take focus 1 through 9, and we can't let up any inning or any part of the order with them. And they've got speed and power, and that just she's going to have to continue to be sharp and attack like she's done so far.
Coach, thank you for the time. Good luck.
Thank you, Hail State.
Peja Gould has been stellar in the circle. Couple of defensive changes for Mississippi State. Grassel and Silva will stay in for the Bulldogs in left and center field. This is something they do a lot, bringing defensive substitutions off of the bench. That's Grassel in left field. And Silva is out in center, and up at the plate for Florida is Jocelyn Erickson. And plenty of new Bulldog outfielders. Initial offerings a strike. Jocelyn Erickson, her numbers through the course of any career, you're going to have your peaks and valleys. Slightly down last year despite still having a really stellar year overall. Erickson yoinks one out to second. 4-3 goes the out. There's one away. But those numbers have come back up a little bit, but you put any of these individual seasons in a bubble, they are elite, and Erickson continues to prove why she's at that level.
Yeah, you talk about her season and it being down last season, but I would have loved those numbers last year throughout my career as well, but that's just the standard that she's created.
Here's Kenleigh Cahalan. That's 1-0. Kenleigh Cahalan's also had a really good season for Florida, hitting in this 3 spot now. Transfer from Alabama, her second year in the program, 8th in the SEC in RBI. Cahalan went around there, 1-1. And she went through a stance change in the offseason. Her and assistant coach Eric Thomas worked hard last year on creating a really sound routine. Ball and a strike. Cahalan mashes one to short. Stiles has the throw in time. But those little tiny tweaks have helped some of the twitchiness really show for her. I know Florida hasn't necessarily gotten their offense going, but this is a huge credit to what Peja Gould has done.
You can't help but talk about the capabilities that she has in the circle and how she's able to move the ball, make it dance. This whole staff is extremely dominant in the innings they've thrown with a lot of strikeouts, but also not walking a ton of people. Peja Gould's strikeout to walk ratio is 6-1. She's not only striking people out, but she's not walking them, and batting average is also low against the senior right-hander, 139 coming into this game.
Grover on 1-0 will hack this off foul. It's a ball and a strike for the Eastern Illinois transfer. Her last 10 games, 231 hitter, has a home run and a couple of doubles. Her and Cahalan are so essential to this lineup, Alicia, because Taylor Shoemaker, Jocelyn Erickson, they're elite, of course, but them providing protection is a huge, huge factor. 1-1. 2-1.
We've got protection in the bottom of the lineup and production above anything. It makes this lineup extremely tough to pitch to.
2-1. 2-2.
When you don't have as much production in the middle or the bottom of the lineup, it allows you a little bit more wiggle room at the top with the team's toughest outs. You're able to expand the zone a little bit more instead of straight attacking them.
Chase that one on 2-2. Kendall Grover down on strikes. That's 3 for Peja Gould. She is locked in for this pitcher's duel. To the 5th we go in Gainesville.
ESPN 40-plus NCAA championships. Confetti rains. Nets are cut. Joy erupts. Hardware is hoisted. History happens here on ESPN, home of NCAA championships.
Mayhem's right around the corner. Florida Gators and their fans hoping the orange and blue can make another run to the Women's College World Series. They've been in 13, and their program's long history, getting wins like tonight, can go a long way into doing so. Keegan Rothrock's back in the circle in an old-fashioned pitcher's duel. Alicia, she's worked into and out of trouble, but overall has done enough to keep this a scoreless game.
Yeah, the Bulldogs so far today gotten 4 hits, but Rothrock coming out of some jams, just showing her mental toughness and getting the defense to work behind her to make some of those outs as well.
Rothrock, 2 strikeouts in this game.
I think something that...
It's Romero leading off, faces 0-1. Tips this off 0-2 quickly. Romero had to overcome an elbow injury. He's slowly sort of worked her way into this lineup. Former number 10 prospect in the country. Struck out on 3-2 last time she saw Rothrock. On an 0-2. Opposite way, that's a laser. Stays 0-2. You turn this over, get a base runner top of the order, 3rd time through against Rothrock. Could go a long way in Mississippi State, just scratching any kind of run production across. Oh, another 0-2. That just misses, 1-2. That barely misses as well. It's 2-2.
Those might have missed a little bit high, but those are still good pitcher's pitches that could go either way with another umpire behind the plate.
2-2. That's fouled off. Keegan Rothrock, climbing up the Florida career wins lists, is currently tied 7th with Delaney Gorley, not too far behind one of the legends, Alicia Ocasio. I hear she was pretty good.
You know, I just did what Coach told me to do. Go out there and compete.
And right now, the nation's leader with 17. Romero climbs back in. Leadoff batter faces a 2-2. Runger up, strike 3. It's Keegan's 3rd of the game.
And Zion didn't seem to like that call. A few pitches up in the zone before then, but that screwball by Rothrock just clips the corner and gets Zion out on strikes.
This brings in Kiara Sells, who is one of the most interesting stories in college softball as of late. First pitch. Takes up and in that we've heard, Alicia, she suffers from hearing loss in her left ear called cholesteatoma. When she was 2, would get bad earaches. Went to the hospital, got diagnosed. 1-0. Inside ball 2, and by about 15 years old, had to start wearing a hearing aid in one ear. She turns it off before at-bats. Coach Ricketts telling us she literally turns off the outside noise. 2-0 pitch. It's 2-1 now. Said she didn't know until about 8 months in that she even suffered from hearing loss. One day she was out at practice trying to yell to get her attention. She's not turning, goes, "Can you hear me?" And her outfielders go, "Coach, no, she can't." 2-1 pitch. Sells takes upstairs, 3-1. And so upon learning this, Coach got her with the doctors at Mississippi State, upgraded her hearing aids, so now they have a longer battery, they're sweat-proof, and serve her really well. 3-1 pitch. Sells clocks this to left, in on a few steps, McClellan's got it, and there's 2 away in the inning. And inspired her local community as well, as Keegan Rothrock puts 2 away.
And I think that's the most amazing part, that she's gone through what she's gone through with loss of hearing in one ear and still able to perform at a high level.
This is ripped foul on the first to Styles.
And inspire the youth at the same time.
Yeah, it's really cool to see how a lot of people have reacted to her and how she's able to provide some of that representation for people going through that. Styles in this moment trying to provide some two-out production for Mississippi State. Outside, that's ball one. Styles has gotten on base twice tonight, once on a fielder's choice, is also singles. 1-1. Styles chops one to second. Comia's got it. That retires the side. Keegan Rothrock faces the minimum in the top of the fifth. We're still scoreless. Florida's bats back to the plate on the other side. Old-fashioned pitcher's duel at KDC Show Presley Stadium. Peja Gould has been stellar. 4 innings, Florida without a hit. They're 0 for 12. Bulldogs have had their opportunities. Keegan Rothrock's evaded trouble. This one is a pitcher's dream tonight, and Peja Gould's been living the dream.
Peja Gould has been reliable all season, and the message to her this year was to just go out and compete, and that's exactly what she's doing. Having fun while doing that, keeping this Florida Gators offense at bay. 0 for 12, only 1 walk. That is a pitcher's dream, minus the walk.
Minus the walk. I think that'd be the coach's dream as well, is get rid of the walk. Townsend Thomas leads off, 5, 6, and 7. Shows bunt on first, strike one.
You know what? I'll take the walk because they didn't capitalize. I'm okay with that.
That works from a pitcher's perspective. Thomas has only popped up once tonight. 0-1. That's tap foul, quickly behind 0-2. Well, Townsend Thomas last week was leading off for Florida. The Humble, Texas native had a really strong finish to her weekend against Arkansas. 3 for 5 with an RBI and 4 hits in the series. And what's her first year as an everyday starter, redshirted last year. And time will be called by Gould. One of the best strikeout producers in the SEC, Peja Gould. But calls time again.
Townsend Thomas just taking authority over this at-bat right now, giving herself some time.
Was Thomas, 0-2. Got underneath this one. It's playable for the Bulldogs. Styles yields for Grassel.
I think that's the hardest hit ball we've seen today, even though it was skyrocketed into the air. A good barrel by Townsend, just got under it a tad bit. And
well, Townsend Thomas is the only Gator that has put a ball into the air tonight on the pop-up of the fly ball. Everybody else has grounded out, struck out, or walked, or gotten on off a fielder's choice. Wesolowski takes a strike on the first. Can the former Bulldog maybe remedy the situation for Florida's offense? Oh, 1. That wanders off the plate, ball in his strike. Long time used to high expectations and pressure. By 7th grade, she was hitting bombs on a state title contending team. Only 13 years old as her starting catcher in high school. 1-1 off the inner part of the plate, grounded to third. And there's 2 away. Gives way to Cassidy McClellan. Peja Gould is putting on a clinic. Reading National Player of the Week, had a no-hitter last week against UT Martin, and right now is shutting down one of the nation's top offenses. McClellan will try to change that. She struck out in the 3rd. It's outside on the 1st. It's 1-0. McClellan takes his strike. Played sparingly the last 2 years now, an everyday starter in this outfield. Credits her dad for developing her swing, teaching her hitting mechanics. 1-1. 1-2.
I think this Gators offense has got to make an adjustment this time through the lineup.
2-strike pitch. 2-2.
With what she's throwing, if I'm in the box, I'm probably going to be hugged up on the plate and try to read the shape of the ball a little bit better. We know that off-speed curve is coming in a little bit slower than her hard drop.
2-2. Good eye by McClellan, counts full.
Try to take the breakaway, or at least clip it when the ball crosses the plate.
On a payoff. McClellan will walk with 2 outs. Just the 2nd Gator base runner to come off of a walk in this game. And that's a start for Florida, who has been starving for offense in this game. And now it's up to Madison Walker, lower part of the order, to try and take advantage for the orange and blue. Walker also walked on her last trip. That was back in the 3rd. Takes a first pitch strike. What's the approach for Madison Walker here?
Honestly, if I'm her, I'm probably going to try to hunt one side of the plate. It seems as if they're laying off that curveball in the outer half and not necessarily trying to hit it, because when they do, they're getting weak ground balls. So I'm Madison Walker. I've seen her smash balls on the inner half. Gould is coming in at least once in at bat with that hard drop ball, so I'd probably be hunting that pitch.
Up and away, 2-1. Last was a check swing appeal, didn't go. So now Walker's ahead because of it. 2-1. Inside, that's ball 3. Well, if Walker can find a way aboard here, would give a chance for Gabby Comia in the 9 spot. 3-1. Strike 2 up in the zone. Coach Walton's words, big time power. We'll see a payoff pitch. Walker jets one out to 2nd. Romero's over. And this side is retired. Gators get a 2-out walk, leave it stranded. This one is still all defense through 5. Let's go to the 6th at Katie Seichel Presley Stadium.
to give the fans an inside look.
We got one game left. We need to show that we're the most excited to play.
We have some really great minds, and we have some really big personalities.
Let's go! Let's go!
Mic'd Up Monday with Courtney Deifel. Man, is there anything better? A great inside look, and one of softball's greatest conferences is the leaders of all these stellar programs and everything that they go through every day for Mississippi State. They'll send 3, 4, and 5. As Nadia Barbary takes low, it's ball 1. Gators have already had one mic'd up Monday. Tim Walton against Missouri. Barbary 0 for 2 has struck out once. 1-0 pitch. Clocks this to third. 5-3. There's one down.
I love the mic'd up Mondays. It gives you a chance to hear the coaches and their conversations and see their personalities, because you see them on TV, you see them, in a serious and intense state, but I think when you hear them throughout the course of the game just communicate with their team, it makes them more human, and you're able to just see their personalities outside of just being a tough coach.
Strike on the first from Keegan Rothrock against Paige Ernstets. Reached on a walk way back in the first on 3-2. Since then, he's only popped up to Erickson. 0-1. It's outside, ball and a strike. Keegan Rothrock came to this game third in the SEC in strikeouts. Has had 3 tonight. Been in 2 trouble spots, but hasn't amounted to any Bulldog runs. 1-1. Ground ball is foul, 1-2. What do you like about her competitiveness?
I think Rothrock's always been a competitor, but I think at times we've seen the ebbs and flows throughout her career. But, and I spoke about this earlier, I feel like she turned a switch in that Tennessee series despite this past weekend's losses against Arkansas.
1-2. Ernstets caught a piece.
Rothrock is always communicating to her catcher, to her defense, in between pitches. Heard it from Coach Walton. She wants the ball. She wants to get on the mound. She wants to compete, and she wants to be great. And I think that's the DNA makeup that you want to have as a pitcher.
1-2. Ernstets underneath one. Out of play, still 1-2. And she's got that major competitive energy. Had a series against Missouri to begin SEC play where she had the official win in all 3 games of the series. That hadn't happened for a Florida Gator since 2011. Oh, 1-2 to Ernstets. Pulled this one, still 1-2.
Oh, not the Tina. What did Tina ever do to you? Jeez.
Third season as the Florida Ace. A 3.17 ERA in conference play, sub 3 overall. 1-2. Ernstets chased it for strike 3. And Erickson's throw completes the K. That's the 4th for Rothrock.
Really great job by Rothrock on that, but even better job by Jocelyn Erickson behind the plate on that ball that's low in the zone, that off speed. Fumbles it between her legs, but stays composed and finds Walker in foul territory to make that throw and get that second out of the inning. Coach Walton credits her to being the best catcher in the country, but also the best first baseman. He's had time at both this year.
I just love that aspect because he's allowed to give Jocelyn Erickson some rest from the strain of being behind the plate so much. Bernardini on the first, serves one into center field. Thomas is in, has got the squeeze to retire the side. Another inning facing the minimum. Second straight for Keegan Rothrock, has done that thrice today. Middle of 6, Gators looking for their first hits in offense late in this game. Bottom of 6, Florida looking for some offensive production. Game 1 with number 16, Mississippi State. Peja Gould, who's pitched a stellar game tonight. Florida all season has been one of the best offenses in college softball. No such luck tonight.
No, and they're going to have to make some adjustments against Gould expeditiously heading into the bottom of the 6. It's getting near the end. So wanting to be able to get runners on, but not only that, be able to string some hits together to be able to bring somebody in.
First of all, I love the word expeditiously. That's the word of the day for sure. Gabby Camilla leads off 9-1-2 for Florida. Secondly, top of the Florida order here. Camilla will take a first pitch strike. So if Gabby Camilla gets it board, could be a chance for Florida to break out in this inning third time through.
I think so, especially with nobody on right now. It gives them a little bit of freedom to be able to sack bunt and get Gabby over, and she has a ton of speed, so she'd be able to go 60 feet a lot quicker than, you know, your average runner.
Is one of the faster on this Florida team. One and one. After that timeout was called. That's fouled off. 1-2 on Gabby Camilla.
And that's a rare rise from Peja Gould that we'll see her drop in here and there. Obviously know her for that off-speed curve, but that rise ball is also in her arsenal to be able to shake things up a little bit.
1-2. Camilla takes low and out. We asked Coach Walton about Gabby Camilla, said she had a solid weekend at Arkansas. And for her, it boils down to pitch selection and success rate. Having confidence at the plate. Play with passion, not necessarily emotion. 2-2. Camilla bashes one to short. And Stiles makes the play. Maybe the best opportunity for Florida to swing their way into the hit column. Taylor Shoemaker's coming to the plate. Peja Gould has held this Florida offense hitless, facing one of the nation's leaders in hits. Outside for ball 1. Shoemaker, a reigning first team All-American. 1-0. That finds his own ball and a strike. Tied Florida single season records for homers and RBIs last season. Former travel ball teammate with Jocelyn Erickson, who's on deck. 1-1. Shoemaker, slow roller out to third. Barbary makes the play in time. Big out in this 6th.
Really big out to Taylor Shoemaker. I'm surprised that she didn't bite at the pitch before that was missed over the heart of the plate. With a pitcher like this, you got to be able to have a plan and stick to it. It looked like she was hunting that drop ball, something a little bit harder. She got it, but didn't get under it to be able to hit a line drive past the defender.
First, Jocelyn Erickson is outside. He's 0 for 2 today. He's made contact twice to Romero at second. Has come through in some clutch spots this year. Had the go-ahead 6th inning 2-run home run against Mizzou earlier this year. 1-0 is underneath. 2-0. Also had the tying solo home run in the 7th of that series. One of this team's captains said one of her goals this year was to pour into others, help this team be better. 2-0. That's ball 3 outside. On a 3-0. Erickson takes a 4-pitch walk. Really not the worst outcome for Mississippi State, with 2 gone in the inning. And likely just trying not to give Jocelyn Erickson anything appetizing to hit with her team leading 16 home runs. Instead, Kenley Cahalan will come to the plate. First offerings into zone. It's 0-1. Cahalan has homered in 2 of her last 3, though. And one of the toughest to strike out in the SEC. 1-1. Former second-team All-SEC comparison Alabama taking a huge leap this year. Reference the stance change she made. 1-1. Gould works ahead, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Worked with Coach Thomas. They like her twitchiness, kind of compare her to Chipper Jones at Sosa tap and go. 1-2, lasered right center, gone! Kenleigh Cahalan snaps the no-hitter and puts Florida in front 2-0.
Cahalan shows out here in the 6th inning to put the Gators up on the board. A no-doubter for Kenleigh off the bat. This is as patient as they come. A huge swing by Kenleigh Cahalan to put them on the board in the 6th inning. It's been a rubber match up until this point.
Cahalan's 3rd home run in her last 4 games.
Gould left this one a little bit too pretty for Cahalan, who was looking for that pitch. Missed on the outer half.
And get this, Alicia, for the first time since non-conference play, Ava Brown will step up for the Florida Gators. Pre-game, we had seen her throwing a few tosses in the bullpen. We wondered, could this be the series she returns? And here's your answer. She will hit for the first time in over a month.
I was wondering why it got even louder after Kenleigh Cahalan's home run, and this has been a highly anticipated moment for the Florida Gators and for the Florida Gators fans who has watched Ava Brown, but this was not on my bingo card for tonight. We did not know when we'd expect to see her again.
First pitch strike to Ava Brown. Went down with a scary injury in the Cal game all the way back on February 26th. He'd been out with an undisclosed lower body injury. 0-1 pitch. And Brown takes his strike. It's 0-2. One of the captains on this Florida team. And a major factor in what this team does at the plate as well. On 0-2. Brown flares it up. And Romero makes the catch to retire this side. Ava Brown makes her return, and Kenleigh Cahalan smashes the no-hitter into pieces. A 2-run blaster, 14th this year. And the Florida Gators go from no hits to the biggest hit of the night. Florida in front, 2-0. Mississippi State down to their final 3 outs in the 7th. from being no hit to Florida having maybe the only hit that matters tonight. Keegan Rothrock trying to slam the door on a complete game shutout against 6, 7, and 8 in this Mississippi State order. Kenleigh Cahalan coming through in a big spot, the senior.
And she's feeling fine. You see her smiling out on defense right now. A big-time hit for a big-time player. We've seen it time and time again for her. We talked about her numbers being down, but having a really good weekend this past weekend with a few home runs, and that's absolutely leaked into tonight.
First pitch to Anna Carter is low. That's ball 1. For Mississippi State, 2 runs to get. What's the recipe against Rothrock?
They've been seeing the ball fairly well tonight, having good discipline, but their hits haven't necessarily been hard hits.
1-0's a strike.
I think they're going to have to attack early. Keegan's mixing, pretty well with that changeup that she has. Rise ball as well, as always, and that's what makes her so successful.
Oh, 1-1. Carter flips this up foul. Well, for Mississippi State, got to start with getting a base runner. Sure would help if it's in the leadoff. Carter had a single back in the 4th. That was eventually left stranded in the form of Grassel as a pinch runner. She was reinserted. Rothrock's 1-2. Two and 2. Also for Florida in that inning, seeing the return of Ava Brown. Opens up some possibilities for both this offense and this pitching staff. 2-2. Pulls this deep to second, diving stop from her knees. The throw is not in time. Comia couldn't get it there, and the tying run will come to the plate for Mississippi State. Bulldogs out hitting Florida 5-1.
Valiant effort by Comia at second base. The leader in this infield. Great effort, knowing how important it is to keep runners off right now in this situation in the top of the 7.
Ali Supan is running at first base. Here's Taylor Troutman pinch hitting. First offering is foul up at first. They've seen a lot of time in the DP spot. There is Supan, the runner at first. Troutman, only a freshman, had the walk-off home run against Tennessee in the 9th. Coach Ricketts told us she's not afraid of the big moment. Well, here you go. You've got your big moment. On the 0-1. Troutman takes ball 1. Former number 8 overall player, according to Perfect Game. Did miss last year with an ACL tear suffered in the fall. It's functionally her first year of everyday college softball. 1-1. Strike 2, Rothrock's ahead. Two home runs out of 4 in SEC play for Troutman. Rothrock's 1-2. That's ball 2. Gators a 2-run home run from Cahalan in the bottom of the 6th. As the Bulldogs down their final 3 outs. 2-2. Troutman skies one to right. Playable for Shoemaker. All the way halfway down the line makes the catch.
A lot of power Troutman has. The ability to tie this ball game up with one swing, and I think she just missed that ball as well, got under it, and I think it caught a wind tunnel as well. Shoemaker had to run a long way just to attack that ball and get it in her glove. But a big moment for the Bulldogs right now. A lot on the line right now. In the top of the 7th, they only have 2 outs to play with.
Des Rivera swings at the first to left center field. McClellan has got it. And Florida's 1 out away from taking game 1. The throw back to the infield is not in time for the double play despite a long run there from Supan.
You know, off the bat, I thought that ball was for sure in the gap, but Cassidy McClellan in left field was able to track it down, make that grab.
One more pinch hitter here from Samantha Ricketts. She'll turn to another freshman. Rothrock seeking the final out to secure a complete game shutout. In this moment, it's Abigail Stevens. First pitch, she swung on for strike one. Keegan Rothrock has given up more hits tonight than Peja Gould, but only one has mattered. That was the 2-run blast from Cahalan. On 0-1. Stevens pops it up. Comia's got it. And game one goes to the Gators in dramatic fashion. Keegan Rothrock wins a pitching duel. The Gators out hit 5-1, but it doesn't matter. Florida gets the 2-run blast in the 6th, and Keegan Rothrock spins a complete game shutout, the 14th shutout of her career.
Rothrock was a dog in the circle today, gave up more hits than Gould, as you mentioned, but was able to shut it down and come back, get the win for her team. Gould still a stellar performance in the circle, but this conference is tough. I mean, the margin for error is extremely thin, and it was the difference in that one pitch that Cahalan got a hold of and took complete advantage of, putting the Gators up in game one of the series.
We'll talk to Kenleigh Cahalan in just a moment. Florida victorious in game one, 2-0 off Kenleigh Cahalan's 14th home run this season. Keegan Rothrock spends another stellar night in the circle, and the Gators a chance to take the series tomorrow after a 2-hour weather delay. Florida finds a way to victory. This was a really gutsy, gritty kind of game. Both pitchers going the distance.
I think that's a great way to answer Rothrock giving up that walk-off home run to lose to Arkansas this past weekend. Coming back and now handling her business for 7 straight and keeping this team off the board, I think is a great way to answer back and continue to give your team confidence.
Now joined down on the field by Kenleigh Cahalan, tonight's hero, with a 2-run home run to win the game. Ken, let's go all the way back to the start of this one. 2-hour rain delay. How did you all stay focused through the weather?
We just knew our plan going in. We had to relax and just trust the process no matter what, despite the delay.
Peja Gould was dealing tonight. What were the adjustments inning to inning, and what did you see on that home run pitch?
Honestly, just see the ball hit the ball. We didn't want to think too much into it, and I just got up there, thought about hitting the right part of the ball and catching it out in front.
Now, what are the keys going into the rest of the weekend to be able to clinch this series?
Honestly, just keep doing what we've been doing. Just go in there with a great plan, have a good mindset, and just believe in ourselves because we work hard all week, and it's meant to be.
Kenleigh, thank you for the time. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you so much. Go Gators.
Kenleigh Cahalan to 2-run home run. The difference tonight, Florida's only hit is their biggest, and game one goes to the Florida Gators. For our entire crew, led by Jeremy Otter alongside Alicia Ocasio, I'm Ryan Urquhart saying good night from Gainesville. Florida wins a thriller in a pitching duel. Cahalan the biggest swing of the night, and the Gators can take the series tomorrow.